suddenly this entire entourage of police officers started to come towards me.
Hello, I'm back, and I was blessed with another work trip. This time it was a one-day training program for Gucci, and I used it as an excuse to roam around Seoul for a few days. Little did I know that this would be an incredibly humbling trip, with a crescendo of L's almost leading up to my arrest. Let's say back to 15 May. If you can't tell right now, I am currently at the airport once again. This time it's just a one-day gig, and I'm going to be heading to Seoul, South Korea. Yeah, I'm going to be taking Scoot. Long day ahead of me. It's been a while since I've been to Korea. Got myself some Tamari kaya toast before leaving. I am looking forward to this. For this trip in particular, it's gonna be like my first time truly solo. I'll be going to a bunch of places. Not so sure how I'm going to be filming this, but yeah, I'll just show you guys around. It's gonna be a 6-hour flight. Thankfully, it's during sleeping hours. Time to get onto the plane. Head to Korea montage right now. I landed in Seoul Incheon Airport at about 10 AM and quickly got onto the AREX, the Airport Railway Express train. This is an express train that brings you from Incheon Airport all the way to Seoul Station. By the way, you can pre-order these train tickets on Klook or just get them at the station. On Klook, it also comes in a bundle with 5 days of unlimited data, so I would recommend it. I bought myself a T-Money card, the subway card from a vending machine, and made my way onto the train. After a bit of transporting, I finally made it to my hotel, the 9-tree Hotel at Yongsan. First order of business, take out shoes because we're Asian. A decently sized hotel, I like it. And we have a view. Whoa! Yeah, not exactly the best view, but it's something. Oh, I'm just glad I can finally take a bath. So I'm gonna have a quick shower and then I'm gonna head straight to Hongdae where I'm going to get a perm because my hair is too long. This is the before. It's all flat and straight now because I haven't permed it in a while. Well, I'm just gonna go try out one of the salons here in Korea. From what Chow told me, there isn't really much of a difference, but you know, it's a different experience, right? So let's go enjoy some Korean hair salons. As far as 4-star hotels go, this one was slightly above average for an Asian hotel, which is saying something because in my experience, East Asian hotels are really good, far superior to the ones in Europe. Okay, they gave me a corner room, so I'm not so sure if it's smaller than usual, but it does give me a nice little view of Yongsan Station right here. That right there is Yongsan Station. This hotel is named 9-tree ROKAUS, and I think it's relatively new. That's why I managed to get it at a much cheaper price than what you would usually get for this standard of hotel. I think this is about a 4 to 5-star hotel. Paid like I think 120 per night, 130 per night, which for an Asian hotel of this caliber could go up to 300. The one that my clients are staying at is right there, Novotel, and I think that one's over 200 or 300 a night as compared to what I managed to get. So I'm really satisfied with my purchase. Yeah! Anywho, I got myself washed up and I quickly made my way to Hongdae for my first activity. That is my transformation from Koko to Oppa. Yes, I was gonna get my hair done at JUNO Hair, a massively popular salon chain in South Korea, and they really do live up to their name. I was escorted to a spot to wait for an available hairdresser, and also with some cookies and a cup of iced tea, which were delicious by the way. I left my things in the locker and I was given this robe to wear over myself. Not long after, an assistant approached me and gave me 5 options of shampoo to choose from, with each one being tailored to the type of problem that your scalp was facing. There's one for oily scalp, there's one for coloured hair, and others. I chose the one for sensitive scalps because my scalp is dry and full of dandruff because I rub my head on the floor a lot from breaking. Afterwards, I was given a refreshing hair wash which apparently came with a head massage. This experience was off to a good start. After being brought to my seat, my stylist, Yebin, got to work on my hair. I would advise you to show them some hairstyles of the look that you're going for, and I mostly found mine through Pinterest. 2 hours later, bing bada boom, I am now Oppa. I was given some products for immediate hair care for the next 2 days, and I left the salon satisfied. In total, it cost around 142,000 won, which is around 142 Sing dollars. And getting all of that service, a perm, a cut, and all the head massage, shampoo, blah 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 elements, for that price, it did feel like kind of a steal. And I'm sure in most places in Singapore, it would have costed
more than that. I then made my way to this Chinese Korean restaurant and got myself 탕수육, jjampong and ganmandu, which is like the sweet and sour pork, the spicy seafood ramen, and some deep fried dumplings, which were kind of like gyozas. It was okay. Pretty nice. The 탕수육 tasted like crispier versions of our sweet and sour pork, and the sauce was like a little more closer to a thick version of lemon sauce. There was a generous amount of kimchi and clams in the jjampong, which I really enjoyed. And this was where the first L of my trip happened. For some reason, I decided to wear a white shirt despite knowing that I would have some jjampong that evening. That's like the equivalent of wearing a pearly white shirt to eat some mala tang at Hai Di Lao. Better yet, I dropped one of the dumplings into the soup. Let me just show you a reenactment.
Okay, just imagine that this curvy is the ganmandu dumpling and this is the jjampong soup. So if I could show you what happened when I dropped the dumpling inside the jjampong, this is what it looked like.
That night, I went to watch this show called the Chef Show Bibap, slapstick show comprised mostly of beatboxing, breaking, and some singing. I previously watched this when I was in Korea as a wee teenager, actually over 10 years ago, and I really remembered busting my ass watching this. I thought, you know, maybe I should go and relive some memories and see if it was as amazing as when I had first watched it. Little did I know that perhaps there was a bit more splendor when I watched this when I was a kid, because when I first entered the auditorium, it was full of kids, like full of primary school kids.
There are a shit ton of kids here. Did I just sign up for a kids show?
It was a little campy at the start, but once the breaking started happening, it got really hype. This guy was doing like one-arm air flares, these windmills that were going at the speed of sound, and it was fun for me to watch now that I know how tough it actually is. So yeah, it was as special as I remembered it to be. Once the show ended, I got myself one of those 32 cm tall ice creams. I wouldn't recommend it, the biscuits sucked. And yeah, I headed back to the hotel. That was it for day one. Next day, day two, it wasn't much. I met up with my client and I was treated to this amazing unagi don at this Japanese restaurant before taking a bus to the National Museum of Korea.
Just about done meeting my clients and gonna be heading to the National Museum of Singapore. I mean South Korea. This building right behind me called Seoul Dragon City. And I think it's a cross between a hotel, big ass mall right next to it with a lot of duty-free stuff. Can't say that the weather has been very good, just slightly less warmer than Singapore, but very hot and the air doesn't feel too good. From what my friend told me, I think there's quite a bit of pollution in the area, so it's really sunny today. Look at that.
I don't know if anyone else has noticed this when they visited the National Museum of Korea, but it seems like pots are some of the most important antiques when it comes to the history of South Korea. Because holy shit, there were a shit ton of pots at this museum. Chulmun culture, pots. United Silla, pots. Joseon Dynasty, pots. There were pots everywhere. Honestly, I didn't really enjoy this museum, and with my lack of knowledge of Korean history, it was quite hard to follow what was going on.
Bought myself some Doritos, seasoned Kkanbu chicken. It tastes a bit like, what's it called? Light. So I got myself some loots from CU convenience store. I'll probably try these tomorrow. I don't know what milk this is, but it looks really cute with the little face, you know. Let's see. Cafe latte. Ice cream mix latte. I have no clue what this is. It looks like chili. Jacoby. So yeah, I'm gonna try this. It kind of tastes like a sweet honey version of the barbecue Doritos. It's okay. Okay, since I have work tomorrow, I think I'm going to call it a day tonight. It's like 7:41 PM. Probably just edit some of the videos I got from the B-Boy Jam that happened recently. Probably tapao some dinner up here and get ready for tomorrow. It's gonna be a long ass day tomorrow. 9 to 6 of filming and taking photos. So not looking forward to that, but...
That evening, I retreated back to my hotel and got myself some Korean fried chicken from Kkanbu Chicken to have a mini mukbang.
Welcome to Dargo's mukbang show. Got myself some Korean fried chicken from this place called Kkanbu. It's just down the street. Got myself the king of all Korean fried chicken, garlic soy. Yeah! This is actually quite a lot. I mean, it did cost quite a bit, but damn! Look at this! Look at all that chicken. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a quick taste test. I don't actually see it totally doused and drenched in garlic soy sauce, so that's a bit of a plus to me because those ones can get really sticky and annoying to eat. Oh, this is good fried chicken. Okay, this is valid. What's this? This looks like a fried rice cake. And it is a fried rice cake. Look at this beauty. It's good fried chicken, but I could use a bit more sauce. Everything's so tender. I also got some watermelon juice from this spot in Yongsan station called Cafe Mignon. And a cheese tart, but this one isn't that good. This should fill me up real good for tomorrow. Catch you then.
Day 3. Finally, it was showtime. And if I'm being honest, this was the only day where things went smoothly.
Getting ready for the Gucci event. It's a sunny day out today. Once again, look at the view.
Wow! Waku waku. Now that's where I'm supposed to be in like about 1.5 hours. But
I'm just gonna go give a quick taste test to this ice cream latte that I bought the other day. Taste test, cafe latte ice cream mix. It's kind of just like sweet latte, like a bit of vanilla ice cream in there, and that's about it.
First off, my client let me take her buffet breakfast at this 5-star hotel. And mind you, 5-star hotel buffet breakfasts are quite a spread. So I went to town on it.
There's so much food! Look at this crazy breakfast. So this is my client's breakfast. She asked me to take it since she doesn't really eat breakfast, so I guess I'm having a little mini mukbang before my job starts. Bon appetit. This is the carbs plate and some broccoli. This is the egg plate with some corned beef, and this is the dessert slash dim sum plate. Makan. Sausage.
I did my work from about 9 to 6, and the entire event actually ended ahead of schedule. And I also got the chance to play with my new gimbal, which I had a lot of fun with. And I think the final video turned out great. I would leave it in my portfolio somewhere, but I don't really have a personal website or whatnot at the moment, so yeah, I should probably set it up soon. And it seems like things were going on the up for me, so what could go wrong? Next day, there were only 2 things on the agenda. Head to the Cheong Cafe and head to Namsan Tower. Let's just say only one of those things went well. It was the cafe. And I was waiting 40 minutes in the rain for that one. After heading into this cafe, this has got to be one of the most gorgeous dessert spots that I visited. I sat at this stone table which had this small water and moss feature stretching across the entire table. On a closer look, you could actually see fish swimming inside this little river. I got myself one of their signature cakes and the egg coffee. And look at the beauty of this presentation. It looked like one of those aesthetic 3D interior design models that people post on Pinterest, just that it's cake. Reminds me of that period of time on Twitter where everything was cake. The egg coffee had a thin layer of caramelized sugar on top, and it gave it a little crunch when you consume it with the coffee. The entire cafe was a calming experience, and I highly recommend this cafe if you have a bit of time to spare. It's also situated in the Iksandong Hanok village, which houses many activities including BB gun shooting, self-photo studios, and shopping. Afterwards, it was time for a proper touristy landmark, the Namsan Tower. And alas, we have arrived at the pinnacle of L's that I've taken. After collecting my tickets, I made my way up towards the mountain by taking this cable car, and I was greeted with this view. Stunning. I even had a bit of fun playing with one of the kids on the cable car. And that's when shit hit the fan.
I am back in my hotel room, and boy do I have a story to tell you. Long story short, I almost got arrested by the South Korean police for violating the security of South Korea. I had my token dumb tourist moment for the very first time. It was an incredibly harrowing experience and something that I probably deserved. So don't be a dumb like me. The gist of it is, I flew a drone in a restricted zone. Basically, for the people that do not know, when you fly a personal drone, many times you would have to avoid areas that are restricted, places like military bases. In fact, most of Singapore is a red zone, so you can't really fly a drone in Singapore. And turns out in Seoul, that is the case as well. Drones are apparently not allowed unless you get prior permission from the police from it, which I myself totally neglected. I've flown drones in other countries before, Indonesia and Vietnam. So it's not exactly my first rodeo flying a drone overseas. Usually I would do my prior research whether this area is available or not. But for some reason, it totally slipped my mind when I did it here in South Korea. I basically took a quick glance at Google. The first link said, flying a drone is legal in South Korea under strict supervision. I went to read the list of restrictions and I was like, oh, cool, that means I can fly a drone here. But my dumbass didn't even check if this was a red zone or not. So after I had my fun flying the drone for 10 minutes or so, suddenly this entire entourage of police officers started to come towards me, and I was telling him, okay, I'm gonna delete the videos right now, I'm gonna delete the photos right now. And I thought if I did that, they would let me go once they saw that I had nothing. Turns out it caused me a lot more trouble, because now one of the senior officers went to ask me, oh, why did this guy like delete the videos and photos? And it didn't help that my micro SD card had stopped working, so they couldn't check the photos and videos on site to see that I deleted them, and they were not on the SD card at all. And yeah, you know, I had a nice cable car ride up to Namsan Tower. I sat down on the bench for a while, and afterwards I had a very nice car ride down to the police station. Yeah, where I sat there for like 45 minutes while they all spoke in Korean. If I could give you a picture of what I looked like one of those guilty teenagers that got caught for shoplifting at your local mama shop, and now you're just waiting at the police station for your parents to come and scold you afterwards. Yeah, that's how I felt like. Just that I probably gave the South Korean police and army a security scare. It's not just officers that came down. I think they were plainclothes officers and even 2 members of the Korean army, intelligence analyst officers, that came down to basically interrogate me. And yeah, I felt incredibly stupid, because this is something that I could have easily avoided, and it's something that I definitely know I would have avoided. It just somehow slipped my mind. That's how I almost got arrested in South Korea. I didn't take any photos or videos of the experience, of course. So moral of the story, don't fly your drone in Seoul. But I guess I got to sit in a police car in a foreign country. Not something that many people can say for themselves. So yeah, I'm gonna eat my Japanese curry and reflect on my life. Oh, that was stressful.
After such a harrowing experience, I was a little shaken. Nothing a little retail therapy couldn't fix, as on my final day, I was going to head to the container mall in Seoul, commonly known as Common Ground. After almost accidentally taking the high-speed train to who knows where, Common Ground was in my sights. I got myself some lunch, this jalapeno pasta and bulgogi pasta. They were okay, a little pricey. And as I readied myself for some shopping, I chanced upon some of the gachapon machines on the top floor. And that's when I saw this. Honestly, I really enjoyed this mall. It might seem mainstream, but it's mainstream for a reason. There are a bunch of street clothing shops, a mixture of vintage and original street brands with high quality clothing. There were also a couple of big brands like Nike, Vans and Foot Locker, and the prices were definitely more on the pricey side. There was also a vintage pop-up market happening outside, so that was quite interesting. And these are just some of the loots I got. I got this heavyweight hoodie for about 70 SGD. It is expensive, but quality-wise it definitely feels on the premium side. I also got this pair of Adidas that look like Jordans for about $69. It was on offer, so I think I got a pretty good deal out of that. I also got these cargo shorts with an internal belt and this shirt. And I definitely would have gotten more clothes if they were a bit cheaper. And also if I didn't have existing clothes in my cupboard that I need to clear already. Definitely my favorite day on this short trip. That night, I headed to the hub of the nightlife in Seoul once again to meet Casey for KBBQ. We ordered a lot of these marinated meats and goddamn, it was delectable. And the best part was that it only amounted to about 54 Sing dollars. I'll put the locations to some of the places I visited in Seoul in the video description below. And at last, it was time to head back to Singapore. The following morning, I took a quick dip in the hotel pool just to get it off the checklist. I got my breakfast, I checked out, and I flew back to Singapore. Conclusion? Overall, not the best trip that I've been on, but hey, at least I get to go overseas. Lessons learned? I am not invincible while on vacation, and don't fly a damn drone in South Korea. If for some reason you enjoyed this, you can check out me heading to 3 countries, Vietnam, UK and Paris for about 10 days. And yeah, click sub or something if you want to.